So on the session in this series. In this session, we start with question number 81. Previously, we ended on question number 80, okay? So here we start with question number 81. It says, what is the coefficient of x in the expansion? So we basically have to just expand this by multiplying and adding, okay? Cool. So we have 4x squared plus 3x minus 1 multiplying 3x plus 1. So we expand, okay? Every term here would multiply every term here, okay? So this will multiply this and multiply this, okay? Then this will come multiply this and also multiply this. And then this also multiply this and also multiply the last one, okay? So let's do that. We're going to have 12x cubed plus 4x squared plus 9x squared plus 3x minus 3x minus 1. So if you simplify, we get 12x cubed plus 13x squared plus 0x minus 1. Okay, how do we get this 0x? Negative 3 plus 3, positive 3 minus 3 is what? 0, okay? And now the question says, what's the coefficient of x? Now the coefficient of x over here is what? 0. So our answer is 0, which is B. Cool, let's move on to question number 82. Question number 82 says, factorize this. Okay, so let's write it down. When you look at this expression, you can see that we can rewrite this as just PQ all squared, okay? So we can have a quadratic of PQ, okay? So let's write it like that. We have PQ squared minus 6PQ plus 9R squared, okay? So if we take this as a quadratic of PQ, then what do we solve? How do we solve this? We find the coefficient of PQ and then we multiply it by the constant, which is this one, okay? Cool. Now what we do here is the coefficient of this is 1, right? Times 9, which is 9. So what are our two factors? Negative 3 and negative 3. Because if we multiply them, we get positive 9. When we add them, we have what? Negative 6, which is the coefficient of PQ. Okay? So let's write it. PQ squared minus 3PQ minus 3PQ plus 9R squared. Okay? Cool. Now we can group them into brackets, okay? But when we group them, this one we can't just group it, right? Because of this negative, it will affect the negative in here also. So let's do that. We have PQ squared minus 3PQ in one bracket, then minus, then we put this in the bracket 3PQ. Then the sign over here will become what? Negative 9R squared. Because when we expand this, we are supposed to get this, okay? So this is what we get. So now we can factor out, okay? So here we can factor PQ out. We have PQ out. Then we have PQ minus 3. And here we can factor something out. Actually, we are missing something. Here we are supposed to have R, okay? And here we have R, okay? Cool, I left that out, sorry. Okay, so let's continue. What do you have here? You can factor, what can you factor out? You can factor something out. You can factor 3 out, okay? So we have 3R out. You have PQ minus 3. Okay, so now what is common to this term and this term? PQ minus 3, right? Cool. So let's factor that out. PQ minus 3, and then we have what is left? PQ minus 3R. Okay, cool. Do we have that in our? There is supposed to be R also. Okay, R. Okay, cool. So this is our answer. Do you have that? Yes, which is A. Okay, cool. Let's move on to question number 83. It says simplify this expression. Simplify this expression. Okay, so find the LCM. The LCM is what? 18. Okay, cool. So 2 going to 18, how many times? 9. Then to multiply this, and here we have 9 will go into 18 twice, and this 2 will multiply this, and 18 will go into 18 once, and this 1 will multiply the numerator. Okay, so let's do that. We are going to have 9 multiplying 2x plus 1 minus 2 multiplying 3x minus 7, then minus 5 multiplying 1. Okay, cool. So we expand. What do you have? You have 18x plus 9 minus 6x plus 14 minus 5. Okay, minus 5 all over 18. So when we expand, what do we get? We get 12x. Let me write it at the bottom instead. We get 12x plus 18. Okay, 1 over 18. We can factor something out. Okay, we can factor 6 out, then be left with 2x plus 3 1 over 18. 6 can cancel 18 how many times? 3. Okay, so our answer will be 2x plus 3 all over 3. Okay, which is C. Okay, this is our answer, C. Let's move on to question number 84. It says simplify this expression. So we find the LCM as usual. What's our LCM? 1 minus x squared. But we know that this is a difference of 2 squares. Okay, 1 squared minus x squared, which is the same as 1 plus x, 1 minus x. Okay, cool. So now this will cancel this once, and it will multiply the 2x. Okay, and then 1 plus x will cancel this how many times? Because this is the same as this, we can just cancel 1 plus x, cancel 1 plus x, we be left with what? 1 minus x. So 1 minus x will multiply 1. Okay, so we have 2x plus 1 multiplying 1 minus x. Okay, so we have 2x plus 1 minus x all over 1 minus x squared, which will give us what? X plus 1 all over 1 minus x squared. Is that our answer? This looks like a good answer, but then we have to simplify further. Okay, let's expand this to look like this. Let's expand our difference of 2 squares to look like this. Okay, so we have x plus 1 all over 1 minus x, 1 plus x. We know that x plus 1 is the same as 1 plus x, right? Just flipped. Okay, so we can cancel those two terms. Okay, and then finally you have 1 over 1 minus x, and that is our answer, and it is A. Okay, thank you so much for watching this session. In the next session we will move on to question number 85. Thank you so much. See you again next time. Bye.